Did you guys know that Brandon Diaz, the artist of Magic Cop, has his very own Patreon page? You guys can head on over there and pledge for either $5 or $8 a month, and you get these beautiful digitally painted pictures by Brandon. He does one a week for all of his members. So head on over there, check it out. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Phil from Zaid Comics. I am the writer and co-creator of Magic Cop, a comic book live on Indiegogo right now, and I am just one half of the two best looking brothers in all of comics, and we're coming at you again with another comic book review this week, trying to get back into the swing of things with these uploading comic review videos on Tuesdays. So yeah, we're gonna get into this one, but before I do that, I want to talk about this piece of art here by Simon Sim Potier, the amazing Canadian artist of such comics as Blood Hunt on Indiegogo right now. He's going to be a big featured artist in CG Jumpstart. And he did this great piece of art for Magic Cop, and we are actually giving it away for free. Free prints of this Magic Cop art by Sim if you back the project before we hit 5K. So from now until we get to 5K, which I think is like $136 away, every backer that contributes between now and then will get this amazing print, and I'm sure you'll get many more chances to get this print, but hop on it back and let's get into this review. So we are reviewing Teen Titans 33. This was like we reviewed 32 a few months ago. Sorry for the delays. I just been so busy lettering the comic, promoting, going on streams and such, that I didn't get around to even picking this up. I was didn't pick up my pull list for a few weeks. So just to give you a little backstory about why we're reading this is because I'm a huge Lobo fan. As you can see, there's Lobo right here. There's Dog right here. Lobo's next to him. You can't see him off camera. But huge Lobo fan. And I got into reading this book because the new character, Crush, who is right here on the front, one of Lobo's many, many, many daughters, but maybe the only living one now, because back in the 90s, Lobo did kill his offspring in the storyline Infanticide by Keith Giffen. So this was the little stretch of storyline where Lobo actually comes and hunts down Crush. And to recap the last issue, issue 32, I do have a video on it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it now, because I'm going to tell some spoilers right now. But do this awesome fight. He's beating the crap out of Crush for a whole issue, and then the second issue, they kind of wimp out, and Jin, the genie, sticks her hands in his head and kind of reprograms him and makes him into this non-threatening Lobo. He gets picked up by, Lex Luthor finds him, and we're kind of left off there with this neutered Lobo, if you will, chained up to this piece of hunk of metal, and Lex is kind of talking to him. So I was like, I didn't know how they're going to follow up with this, because he's kind of neutered now, so maybe he was going to become a good guy and work with the team, or what was going on. So we left off there, and we'll get into it right now. So this has a different team of artists on it. The cover, of course, is by the main artist, who is Chen, I think, right? Bernard Chang. Let me see. Sorry about that. It is, Bernard Chang is the regular artist on here, and he's been doing the whole series. But we have guest artists, and we'll get to that once we get to the big splash page. But I do like this art. It's, a little bit different. I love how this guy, this new guy who's just a guest, Chang, is doing doing how Lobo looks. Sean Chen is doing the Lobo. I like him, and we'll get to it. I like how he draws Crush also, but it is a totally different guest team. I don't know if DC's trying to, try them out together. The colorist is different. The penciler is different, and the inker is different, but written by Adam Glass. So we have Lobo being found here, and this little robot saying that his brain's been reprogrammed, and they just zap him with a laser and undo that. So he's right back to being regular Lobo, the Bastich, the Scourge of the Cosmos, if you will. And he recognizes this guy as Lex Luthor, and he's like, he wants nothing to do with Lex. And Lex is basically saying, well, you were wiped out by these kids. I used to fear you, and now I don't. It's this hologram of Lex, and he's all beaten up. And so he basically wants to bargain with him and says that Crush has this, this great evil in her DNA because she comes from your blood, and she wouldn't be such of a nuisance to you if she didn't have free will. So that is literally all the Lobo we get in this story. Considering what the cover image was, it was kind of a throw off of the story. I don't like when comics do that. I know they do that sometimes just to wrap up someone's story arc in there or segue into a new one while they put one on hold. And that's what this issue basically is. You have that, these 2 or 3 pages of Lobo and Lex talking, and then Lobo's not in the rest of the issue. It comes up with the kind of segues into a different storyline, whereas you could see this is a whole month later. Sorry about that. This is a whole month later. And yeah, the cool thing here, though, is you do see some familiar faces. Oh, for me, in fact, Mammoth here was a big villain in the old Teen Titans cartoon. So definitely instantly recognized him. They're pulling from Teen Titans Rogue Gallery here. And this guy's going to be an important character. He's tending to a garden and helping these kids out. And it seems like someone is monitoring him. We don't really know who yet. And yeah, so the Teen Titans just kind of kick these guys' butts. The brother and sister Mammoth and Shimmer, I think her name is. I believe so. And it's a pretty good fight. We see this awesome roundhouse, like cannonball-esque, Liefeld cannonball stream here. And this beautiful splash page, which is our title page, which is great. And I love how they do this in the Teen Titans series, kind of picking it off as, since it's an ongoing series, maybe each issue is someone's first issue of a comic. So you reintroduce everybody with this awesome splash page. The core members of the team, they have their names and they have their little descriptions, like Crush, daughter of Lobo, and as you can see, so on and so forth. Crush is looking badass. She Chen is drawing her really cool here. I love this profile shot with her hair. Really digging that. And Naughty by Nature. And yeah, so you get a lot of action. The enemies are taken out pretty quickly. And then you get this conversation here between, I believe it's Red Arrow and Robin. How she is, upset about having to kill Deathstroke, and he wants her back, and they're kind of talking about who could not be trusted on the team. A lot of, exposition here through dialogue. Not a very exciting scene, but this whole issue is culminating to how Robin has changed his tactics now. He's, still bringing people to underground Mercy Hall, which everyone was really upset about when they found out that he was chaining up these villains down there instead of taking them to Arkham. And he even talks about that in this book. He talks about how his father would just take the Psycho Rogues Gallery to Arkham for them not to be rehabilitated, for them to just be released into Gotham City again. And wreak havoc on its people and kill and murder again, time and time again. And that's the big difference between, Damian Wayne, Robin, and Batman. Damian Wayne goes to the extremes that he goes to so these people, so these villains won't come back and hurt again. He goes to the point of maiming. And throughout this series, we've seen him going to the point where locking these villains up in the like horrible prisons with no food basically and little water. He was the only one that knew about this going on until it leaked out to the rest of the team. And for that, he did that to Atomic Skull. He did that to Black Mask, and he would just lock them up and leave them here, and no one would know. So it basically gets to the point here where Jin is now in on it with him. They, kind of had this romantic thing going on. So it seems like Robin has, talked to her and said, this is the only way. And you see that Jin walks in and the two scream. We cut back to this man who's in the garden watering the flowers and pricks his thumb on the rose, and he bleeds, and he's kind of got fangs here. And we see that this guy, the person that was watching this guy is Robin, and he has all these undercover villains being tracked. That's Brother Blood, and he has Gizmo. We see we got, the Kevin Smith character, Onomatopoeia, who's a really cool character. Atomic Skull and Swerve, who we saw earlier in the series. And those guys are green. Those are out and about. They're living their lives, waiting to strike again, unless they're rehabilitated, but Robin seems not to think so. And then these two, Mammoth and Shimmer, are yellow. They're captured. And the yellow, not being red, not being killed, but the yellow either being captured, but as we see, being on this next panel, basically lobotomized. Like basically what happened with Lobo. They're being neutered by Jin. And now this is a whole new tactic that Robin's going through. He's, instead of just taking them off the street and leaving them in there to rot forever in his prison, he seems to have found a way through Jin reprogramming Lobo's mind that he could actually rehabilitate these villains. And kind of in a horrific way, as you see, she's literally basically phasing her hands through their brain, and it makes me think of like a lobotomization, like they're getting their frontal lobe scraped out, and it does end here. This is the final page with that shocking image where, wow, things have changed now. But is it for the best? Is it for worse? Now Jin is playing into Robin's, dark rehabilitation ways. I thought it was a good issue. Let me know what you guys think. Didn't have enough Lobo for me, but the story, this part of the story was actually really interesting, and it made me forget by the end of the issue that I was tricked with that really cool cover by Bernard on the front there with Lobo and his really beastly badass tattoos. We'll go back up there and look at that. Look at that. Those tattoos are really cool. So yeah, hopefully, I have the rest of these issues. I have them caught up. I just need to read them. If you guys want, leave a comment down below if you want me to review the next ones. And I did get the Mask omnibuses, so I'd really want to review those because my Mask video got some pretty good views on that. So let me know, what do you guys think? Did you like this? What do you want me to see me review? What do you want to hear my opinion on? And how do you feel about Lobo in here and what Robin is doing? Leave that comment down below. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications so you know when we are going live for all of our streams. I am Phil, and thank you for watching. Hey guys, have you heard of Magic Cop? This is the comic book that we're making at Zaid Comics. It is live right now on Indiegogo. It is that Miami Vice feel mixed with monsters and magic. 88 pages, fully colored graphic novel. And be sure to pick up that ash can that comes with it. It's going to have a bunch of concept art and a 12-page pilot issue. So check it out. We're fully funded. That means if you back it, you're definitely going to get this book. and we're heading on for the stretch goals. So help us out to get there. Thanks, everybody.